we got something that we need to look at. Built like a Stretch Armstrong. We got something that I want to look at. You know, the homie. The homie. iDubbbz. It is what it is. The end of iDubbbz by WestJett. We have all seen what's going on. There is apparently some information in there that I have never heard before. So we'll look at this. We'll look at this and see what's going on. All I really know from the last thing is that iDubbbz was able to essentially drown an entire gym in his scent because he's a stinky.
Massive day for the unemployed. iDubbbz's life keeps getting worse. From once being a beloved content creator, you know, loved by many, to just being a shadow of his former self. He's also...
Sam Hyde was correct, by the way. Sam Hyde was 100% when he said about Anisa, that woman is gonna ruin your life. She did. Look at this. Nyong.
Down about 700,000 subs since his, like, peak. So what?
Damn. Damn. That's crazy. What a downfall.
What caused this mystical fall off? Why did everyone turn on iDubbbz? A woman. Now, if you're actually
a woman, yeah. A woman. The fact that, a big fact is that, the Hassan video, the content copy did on Ethan, that was a problem. And then that video justifying sending, the government after H3, that was also another one.
Employed and missed the lore, she's basically the Antichrist. Alright, let me get to some world building here. So they get married, and she pretty much forces him to take her last name.
Not that it matters, but the only reason why we chose my name over his last name is because his last name is, like, just objectively ugly.
You're married, you're essentially clouding your family, your new
If, not gonna lie. First of all, Washburn isn't a terrible name. Not gonna lie, that could be used for like a spell or something in an anime or game. And it's like a water move that is like really hot or whatever, or bubble powers. What do I know? The thing is this, right? You are shitting on your husband's name on stream. You're shitting on your you know, his family's name. That is the kind of disrespect I would not take.
Family, what?
It's just like an ugly last name. Like, Washburn sounds horrendous. Like, Anisa Washburn definitely stormed the Capitol.
What has that? That is a completely normal fine name. That's a good surname. The fuck you mean? That is a good name. This bitch retarded. What? That is a solid good name.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Yo, is this person fucking retarded?
Yes.
And trust me, it gets even worse. This is just the tip of the iceberg. His wife is actually a massive Hassan Piker fan. So much so that she...
What? Ian didn't get diagnosed with ADHD the first time, so Anisa forced him to go back with her a second time so that she could argue for him why he has ADHD. So she literally forced him to have ADHD. Essentially. Anisa tried to get iDubbbz diagnosed with cancer out of paranoia? What? What? iDubbbz said he finds it hard to speak for himself whenever his wife is with him. This guy is definitely wearing a chastity cage or whatever. There's no way. Anisa once said she had a nightmare where Ian got her pregnant. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Anisa once forced iDubbbz to pull over on a highway so she could walk home because of an argument. I mean, okay, that happens. That's the most tame one on this list. In her own words, Anisa said she goes 5-year-old mode, baby mode, and throws temper tantrums whenever she and Ian fight. Anisa took a wedding ring off last time she went to Hassan Piker's house. This is some, I announced it on Twitter before, but I am severely horror-phobic. I am so horror-phobic, I get out the shotgun. And I don't even have, we don't have guns here. What the, this is some horror energy that goes beyond mental comprehension. Taking your ring off in another man's house is insane. It is just... That is... She's a sadist and he's a masochist. I cannot explain this in a different way. Well, she's one hell of a cold-hearted bitch and probably has a very special place in hell. Yeah, this woman gets a very, very neat place.
Allegedly took off her wedding ring last time she went to his house. She's also got iDubbbz emasculated to such an extreme where she's straight up doing OnlyFans. And you know, that's bad in itself, but she was taking photos during their wedding night, apparently.
Oh! Nah! 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 No! Nah! Nah! This can't be... Oh my god, what did you do? Sam Hyde was so correct. Oh my god, he was so correct. This woman ruined his life for real. Bro, you know what's even worse? She wasn't making OnlyFans before she met him, right? She started doing that when they were already seeing each other. Imagine you marry a husband and at the same time you post your ass for money on the internet. Imagine you're on your wedding and you make stuff for your online prostitution business. Holy fuck.
Was actually a demon. This woman uploaded pictures of her.
This is not just a demon. This is what we call the semen demon.
A bad asshole to Twitter on their wedding day. What is more demonic than that?
And a question a self-respecting person might ask in this scenario, why is he still with this bitch? Ian lost his virginity to Anisa, and he had never had a girlfriend or been with a woman before that.
This explains a lot. This explains a lot. This explains a lot. I've apparently heard that for a lot of guys, they have a hard time getting over the girl they did it the first time with. This explains a little too much.
This is what he told me shortly before he started dating her. He wants that incel audience bad.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. I know that tweet already. Incel turned from involuntarily celibate into man I don't like or man I don't agree with. Because, dude, how can you be an incel? Because, you know, if you want that incel audience, you yourself have to be an incel, because otherwise you can't cater to them, really, right? Also, at that point, I'd rather have an incel audience than being a cuck. But that's besides the point. The fact that, basically, he calls someone an incel that has a wife and kids is beyond me. That makes no sense. Hey, succubus have standards, at least. You don't need to lock them in with this cold-hearted bitch. Maybe she is a succubus at this point. Explains a lot, very much. Like, for actors who have sexual act with another actor for a movie's sake. Oh, that reminds me of that one guy. I forgot his name, but basically he lost a role because he refused to do a kissing scene. Because he only kisses his wife and nobody else, which I found so cute. I forgot what his name was. Somewhat known actor. The guy that, if you watched Arrow, the guy that played Damien Dark, I think was it. Incredibly based.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but ironically, you are the incel audience. When your wife literally pays your electricity bill with her OnlyFans, I don't think you have the right to say incel audience, bro. They paying your bills. You know you're cooked when people start taking H3's side. My boy has not been so much as touched by the opposite sex before Anisa. In itself, it's not a big deal, but in the context of the relationship, I find it very humorous.
It is so funny, actually. It is actually, like I said, it explains why he is the way he is now. This man is so pussy whipped, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's actually crazy. It is wild. It is really, really wild. That's something you would do. Yeah, very much, very much. It's cute and totally based for real.
Anisa. In itself, it's not a big deal, but in the context of the relationship, I find it very humorous. Mocked by Tony Soprano's successor. I guess
mocked by Jewish Tony Soprano. That's pretty much what it is.
it was dad bod season. Bro, you were harassing teenagers at 26 and then learned empathy at 30.
At the age of 32, I've acquired empathy.
Yeah, literally. Guy with the OF wife and no kids calling the guy with a normal wife and kids an incel. Yeah, that's an incel right there if I've ever seen one. iDubbbz's wife is non-stop sending him on a humiliation ritual, and this is still just the tip of the iceberg.
I want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
What? Is this low-key parallel to grooming? If the relationship appears as abusive as it is right here, as it appears for the clips and all that stuff, and her being his first, and him turning this way because of her, you could technically already consider it grooming in a way, but grooming is usually used in a sexual context. So I don't know. Maybe not. He has a dad body, for real. He's not even that overweight, but it's still a dad bod. He's a father. He doesn't particularly work out, at least as far as I know. That's a dad bod. I have to admit, each of these family looks really lovely. For real, for real. I mean, that guy essentially won.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had, like, IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
His wife...
Dude, okay. You would have... No, actually, no. You wouldn't need to torture me for 100 years straight to admit that I have a condition that makes me shit myself on stream. And this demon blurts this out on stream. And bro already looks like, why did you say that right now? She must hate him. She must hate him for real. Despise him even. Like, what do you mean? You just straight up say that on stream that, like, how can you embarrass your husband like that? On stream, that he shits himself.
Doesn't see a single problem with this. She's just clowning him on stream live. When do you put the foot down and say enough is enough? Because all the clips I see of his wife, it's just her ruining his life, getting him involved with her schizo. I
feel like he has some parallels now that I realize to some people I know. There's somebody I know. My voice is just dying. Fucking goodness. I know somebody that just has this idea: if he loses this woman right now, he will never find one again, which is why he does not place any borders ever. He doesn't. What's the word? He does not set up any boundaries ever, and she can just do with him what she wants, simply because he has the fear that he will never find somebody again. I wonder if that applies to iDubbbz too as well, to a degree. I wonder. Like, I'm starting to have actually, like, I'm starting to feel sorry for the dude.
Friends and just kind of tarnishing his reputation. Like, these are crazy eyes if I've ever seen any.
Commentary YouTuber.
I mean, didn't iDubbbz say that you can basically abuse a 4-year-old? Or, like, any child that's before they turn 4? Because, they won't remember anything? Which is what she literally said. Kids won't remember anything when you're before the age of 4, which is, like, ridiculous. Because I remember things when I was 4. And even before that.
Birds have no idea what it is to work a normal job.
Don't you have a fucking OF? The fuck you mean? The fuck you mean? You don't work a real job! You undress yourself for money on the internet! You are a prostitute, I'm sorry.
Wrong, this is me working as a parking guy. I might be retarded, but at least I've had a job.
You have no clue.
Whoa, shiver me.
Ooh, I'm scared.
Timbers, is that the cage she keeps iDubbbz in? I get...
Nah, did he really? Nah. Where? Where? I don't see it. Oh no, that wasn't from chat. That was from him. That was from WestJett. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro, he didn't just say that. That's some vile shit. That is some vile shit. That is some vile shit. Oh my god, that's so vile. Well, iDubbbz cage. There we have it.
At the cage she keeps iDubbbz in. I get some of these clips are old, but once again, world building, guys. Remember. And speaking of new, Billy Mitchell himself joined the fray. Only one can teach iDubbbz how to get a better woman. Jeez.
Oh my god. This went so south, bro. This backfired so bad. Like, this dude going against Billy Mitchell, I looked at it for a while, right? And this backfired so badly. It's crazy.
Jesus, if you know, you know. This iDubbbz guy just can't catch a break. Every time I open this app, he's getting burned alive. iDubbbz could end all of this by coming out as gay. You gotta divorce your wife, iDubbbz. Low-key, I'm kind of personally invested in this saga at this point. Maybe because I used to watch iDubbbz when I was younger and I thought he was alright. No, and it's not because he said slurs all the time. That doesn't matter. It just felt like he was kind of genuine in a sea of like weird bad actors like Jake Paul and Rice Gum. But still, the greasiest thing he's done hands down is skipped Max Mofo, his friend's wedding.
I still can't believe that. I still can't believe that he skipped his best friend's wedding because his bitch, because that's what she is, wanted to get a tattoo. And he had to be there. That is diabolical. Like I said, that woman is evil.
For his wife's tattoo appointment.
The wedding situation, when he was first sending out invites, I was like really uncertain of how that was going to work out because I had some kind of important plans here in the States, so...
These kind of important plans conveniently lined up perfectly with his wife's tattoo appointment, like a Japanese gang member. In a vacuum, this is bad in itself, but it gets even worse when you consider the fact that Joji, the musician, or Filthy Frank, whatever you call him, literally scheduled his tour dates around his friend's wedding, but iDubbbz had important things going.
What? Yeah, sure, the priorities are truly straight here. For real. Like, dude, if somebody that goes literally on tours... First of all, I didn't even know they made music. That's new information, but okay. If you go literally on tours, and you schedule your tours around your homie's wedding, yet this cuck was not able to appear at his homie's wedding. I don't think the tattoo was the issue. I think Anisa was the issue here. Maybe she didn't want him go there.
Going on, give me a break. That was pretty much the beginning of the end for iDubbbz, and most of his audience knew he was cooked and pretty much started to unsubscribe en masse. And I just keep finding more and what hasn't she said about her husband? Now, you can't say the name iDubbbz without mentioning Creator Clash, sponsored by Fansly. Nevertheless, his wife had this to say after—
Wait, it was sponsored by Fansly? What the heck? Was that Creator Clash 2? Wait, Fansly already? What the heck?
After he lost his fight.
He still would have lost to Dr. Mike even if he could breathe and didn't have fractured shins.
No, that bad. What the fuck? It's Amaranth is just censored. Amaranth behind me is just censored. That's crazy. Was that applied by WestJett or not? That's interesting. Amaranth is just censored. That's crazy. Okay, if I go to a boxing match and my girlfriend doesn't do the same thing that Rocky's girlfriend did in Rocky 1, I'm divorcing on the spot. I'm breaking up on the spot. And look like how she laughs. Look at this demon. Amaranth is not happy with this one though. That's valid.
Dude was in the ring and he's getting no support from his wife. My wife better be there, Rocky Balboa, cheering me on. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the good ending.
That's a good ending for real. Like, that kind of support. What the heck?
Doesn't matter how much training you've put in, doesn't matter how hard you've worked, get a supportive girlfriend who will always prey on your downfall. Here's what people are saying: you still would have lost. How could your wife be your biggest hater during an interview?
Pegasus's coverage is second to none now. Speaking of peg,
it's time for your pegging.
What?
None now. Speaking of peg,
it's time for your pegging.
Was that? I hope that wasn't targeted at iDubbbz. Please say no. Please say no. Please say no. Oh no. Want to check out Toxic Couple? How about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett? They have some crazy interviews. I feel like this is not, like, I don't think this comes even close. To be fair though, those two, like these two, Anisa, also Anisa the greasy, that makes sense.
My girlfriend started an OnlyFans account, and I think all of it is cool. Online and see people.
Yeah, very cool. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a broken man. Bro's a pillow biter now, mad. Look at this man, broken completely.
Attacking partner and
Anisa is on camera saying he has bad breath, is a cheapskate, shits himself daily, and that he didn't like being pegged.
She did peg him? Like, the bad breath basically just that he stinks, and he basically turned, a gym into a living, existing ginormous garbage can. Cheapskate, that's new. Shits himself daily. Yeah, that's she said, and that he didn't like being pegged. Oh my god. Okay, you know, iDubbbz did some questionable shit. Some really questionable bad shit, right? But the punishment he's now getting for is way too much. The punishment is his wife. And it's way more than what he actually deserved.
This is just insane. I feel like I'm watching part of a humiliation ritual for Ian. If one of my exes was saying this type of shit while we were together, it would be a huge issue. Not to mention he goes on Hassan's stream and scoots his chair further and further back, leading into the cuck role. He looks so uncomfortable. Look at this guy's body language. He doesn't want to be there.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Ian's not into any of that shit. I've tried.
Okay, then keep it to yourself.
Just nobody wants to hear your bedroom stories. We don't want to hear that. We're not interested in what you can fit in iDubbbz's ass. We don't even want to hear what you can fit in your own ass. We are not interested. No. Keep the bedroom stuff to yourself. Keep him shitting himself to yourself. What is going on? This is private business. Gross, but why would you even peg someone with IBS? That seems like it's doomed to fail. God. Bro.
Why does the internet have to know about that? You know how the internet is. iDubbbz is so pussy whipped because, like, any normal person, even a tenth of what he's dealing with would just end it right there. To an outsider looking in, he just seems like a very insecure guy and is scared to make any boundaries out of the fear he'll lose his girl. Anisa made iDubbbz go to the doctor to get prescription Adderall for ADHD he doesn't have.
Like, allegedly, right? Allegedly. She forced him to get medication for ADHD, and he doesn't have that. Could not waterboard that information out of us. For real, for real. Could fit 3 raccoons in yours. What the fuck? Yeah, I know your country. I'm nuking you.
Ian didn't get diagnosed with ADHD the first time, so Anisa forced him to go back with her a second time so that she could argue with him why he has ADHD. Anisa tried to get iDubbbz diagnosed with cancer out of paranoia.
How does this even work? Like, did she walk up to the doctor and said, "Yo, my boyfriend definitely has ADHD. You need to give him the diagnosis ADHD." Like, how did she bribe that man? Like, did she sleep with him? Like, how does this work? How can you like go back to a doctor and get the diagnosis that you don't have, and then obviously tried to get him diagnosed with cancer out of paranoia?
I just feel sorry for this guy. His life is spiraling so hard he had to even leave the creator clash that he built, not the Ludwig Fadsley sponsor.
He wants that incel audience bad.
Again, I gotta emphasize, if you're selling your pooper for $5 on the internet, you have no right to use the word incel or complain about incels ever. You are fueling the fire. Now, this kind of explains everything, you know, the Sonichu medallion curse.
Not the Sonichu medallion. Oh yeah, here, another victim.
It took another victim. On the real, the content cop iDubbbz dropped on H3 backfired so hard that people started taking H3's side. If at any point you begin to feel bad for Ian, just remember this. This MF looked into a camera lens, edited the footage, and uploaded a video justifying the CPS visit to our home. No mercy. And then he posted this photo, which, you know, quite frankly, I don't even know what this means, so enlighten me, fellas. Ethan keeps making fun of Ian for being a virgin before Anisa, but I imagine getting picked by Anisa. That's a W. Like, I'm so jealous. When your loudest support...
What? Ethan keeps making fun of Ian for being a virgin before Anisa. But imagine getting picked by Anisa. That's a W. I do not... I do not... No? No. That's not a W. Like, I'm so jealous. She's beautiful. She seems amazing overall. If anything, that means Ian was so attractive and such an awesome person that his sexual experience level didn't matter at all. What the fuck do you mean? She literally said she wants to marry a rich man. She didn't get the good-looking part or whatever it was, but she did get the rich man. She did not marry him for his personality, his looks, or his attractiveness. Nothing. She married him because of money. We're still able to get Anisa to pay attention to him with money. With money. Also beautiful, I wouldn't say that. She looks homeless in a lot of tweets and a lot of pictures. First of all, bro, she probably wanted a virgin so she could manipulate him easier. That could probably work. That could probably work. Wouldn't work on me though.
Picked by Anisa, that's a W. Like, I'm so jealous. When your loudest support is coming from Reddit, you know you're cooked. Like, those dudes would genuinely get a job at the morgue for some action. Now, if you're watching this video and you're a virgin, jokes aside, that doesn't even...
Hey! How dare you! I have standards!
matter, especially if it's for religious reasons. But when iDubbbz starts saying stuff like this, it is kind of funny. He hates his audience because he looked into the Shrek magic mirror and saw himself.
You can actually tell when I'm having a terrible day because I will not shut up on Twitter. I will not fucking shut up. I will tweet the stupidest shit.
I went to look at...
That's lore accurate.
Her age, so she's 31 and her birth sign is Cancer. You
accurate. The birth sign is actually very accurate. This woman is in fact Cancer, also 31 years old and behaving like that. Holy fuck. We have a adult infant. Nobody's talking about it, but we have an adult infant epidemic.
Shocker. You are pushing 40, arguing with strangers on Twitter. I'm 24, and even I stopped using Twitter.
Wait, WestJett is as old as me? What the fuck? How the fuck are we the same age?
Because I realized if I'm gonna talk shit, I might as well get paid for it. But I digress. But all of this could have been easily avoided if iDubbbz just manned up and squatted 200 pounds below parallel.
Sam, he was right.
Mark my words, that woman is gonna ruin his life.
So there's a...
He just predicted it. Sam Hyde just predicted. Think of Sam Hyde what you want, right? But he predicted that. Crazy.
Video of Sam Hyde, and he goes, she's gonna ruin his life. Mark my words.
Get rid of Yoko Ono. She's like his entertainment handler.
No matter what you think of H3 or Sam Hyde in that matter, you can't deny that the ghost of Kiev is right. iDubbbz truly is a shell of his former self, and it's honestly pretty sad to look at, and quite frankly, she has a big part to play in it. You don't even have to say slurs to be funny. And it's honestly sad.
You do. I see that. She gives Cancer a bad rep for real. Like, dude, it's just wild. It is just wild. I mean, man, this woman, stage 4 cancer, stage 4 brain tumor, married to Anisa for the rest of your life. Pick.
Add the path he went. Anyway, even Leafy came back to the intranet. There's definitely something brewing, so stay tuned. He's clouded hard too. Did he cry again? Realistically, I only covered the surface because this downfall is so disastrous. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you're jealous of iDubbbz.
Yeah, I'm thinking anybody is jealous of iDubbbz. This guy is cooked. Like, he's so pussy whipped is actually crazy. That man, she has him so in control. I will absolutely call this an abusive relationship because from the outside, it absolutely is. Mocking your boyfriend or husband in front of multiple people, taking off your wedding ring. I feel like that's still one of the most whore things you can actually do. Like, at that point, you know this relationship is over. Like, there is no relationship. It doesn't exist. Get this man out of there. Get him some help. I'll give him shelter. He probably has a better life than with her. Goodness, holy shit. Like, comment, and subscribe.